Can we solve the empty homes crisis? Honestly, I don't know, but this could be a start. This church building has been empty for ages. It's currently up for sale, viewing by appointment only. I don't know who owns it, but it could be converted into some absolutely incredible property. Now, it's not easy to convert these buildings, but they look absolutely incredible when they're done. I've seen flats and apartments put into buildings like this, and they are absolutely amazing. So let's take a look around and see what we could get out of something like this. So I'm around the other side of the church now, in the actual graveyard itself, but it's a big, big building. Won't tread on any graves directly. Yeah, it's massive. And at the minute, it's just sat there doing nothing. I can't get into the building to have a look because it's all fenced off. All the windows are grated. But just imagine the potential. This is like prime location. This is, we're right on the outskirts of Belgrave, just here, in the conservation area. So a lot of the buildings are listed. I've actually just been into one of the properties that was attached to the old Belgrave Hall to have a look. That was a little 2-bedroom house, and you could get loads and loads of those, or properties like it, in something like this. The refurb would not be cheap. Any builders or developers, tell me, like, is it feasible to do? I've seen one done near the Leicester train station, St John's Chambers, and that's a really, really good building. But this is very big, so you could definitely do something with it. And your neighbours are very, very quiet. You're not going to get too much noise out of here, are you? But located where it is, like I say, on the outskirts of the conservation area in Belgrave, it is not cheap to live around here. It's a very, very popular part of town. So like these villa-style terraces, they're going to be in the region of like 260 to 290,000 pounds in most cases. They get really good money, and these are in a very nice spot. This is Vicarage Lane just here. And if you follow me now, jumping out the graveyard, I'll take you for a little tour just around the back end of the church and down the rest of the Belgrave conservation area. So you've got the old lamps here, and this is a little walkway that splits some gardens off to this side, with the church off on the right hand side. I reckon if you converted that, there's probably £3 million worth of property in there, residential. But again, I don't know what the planning consents are and what is and isn't allowed. It'd be a great place to live. Now, I thought I knew this location quite well because I run up here quite a lot, but like I say, there's like little houses down here that I didn't really know existed. Or I did, but I didn't realise you accessed them this way, and didn't realise they were sort of designed like this. So these are all like old outbuildings from the original hall that have been converted into dwellings, and literally look, the church is just there. It's right through there. Plenty of opportunity and plenty of precedent that's already been set for making these into residential properties. So you've got one block just here, another block next door, and then the main old sort of house itself, which looks an incredible building. Something I'd love to have a look in one day. Whether I've got the opportunity or not, I don't know. Yeah, really fabulous building that is quite tucked away, really. So we're close to the River Soar, just down here, and these are the gardens that are all maintained. Looks wonderful every season of the year. I've been up here in winter when there's snow on the ground, and now in the autumn just as the leaves are starting to fall. So I'm now walking parallel with the river, which is just down there. You probably can't see it through the trees. And I'll take you down now towards some more of the old streets around the Belgrave conservation area. A lot of buildings will be listed, which means you can't do too much to them. But not all of them are. The Victorian terraces, usually you can get away with doing a fair bit to those. You just have to check because it's the conservation area, but they're not listed. So yeah, it swings and roundabouts, really. Some bits you can do, some bits you can't. You've got the river straight through there. Thankfully it doesn't flood this high up. The other side does flood because it's a bit lower down there. This is always quite nice. There's always like different wildflowers and stuff in here. Changes again as the seasons change. And here we come into the older buildings that we've got. Just about to approach one of the oldest streets around here, which is Belgrave Avenue. Some of these houses are really, really pretty, especially these two on the end, which I'll show you now. So you've got that there, which is a nice, big, grand end terrace. And then you've got a wicked detached house there, which looks like it's been probably lived in by the same people for a very long time. Could be amazing. And then you've got some like townhouse style ones here before we go back into the villa style terraces further down the street. It's probably not quite as sought after as Vicarage Lane next door, but nevertheless still a very popular location. This is quite interesting just here, so I'm assuming this would have been used for a horse and cart and would have been like a yard of some form, and now it's been converted either side into flats. I don't know if it was all one building originally, but yeah, definitely would have been horse and cart through there to the yard at the back, so like milk or like butchers or something like that, maybe a bit like Steptoe and Son. Numbers 6, 8, 10 and 12 are absolutely massive older villas. There we go, ALDER, older villas. They are huge places. And then just at the end here, they've number 2 to 4. There was obviously something there before, and that's had some new residential built, and that's what needs to happen. Stuff like that needs to happen where we've got land spare. I'm pretty much going to turn around now and head back because I'm coming now onto Leicester Road, which is where it gets a bit more commercial. So we've got more shops, commercial, industrial, and really you're sort of back into more modern life here, I suppose, really. Whereas back down this way on Belgrave Avenue and Vicarage Lane, it's much more oldie-worldy. But what I want to show you then, just before I sign off, is the difference in this street to like 100 yards away, where they put a lot of new property, probably going back 40 years or so now, maybe even, do you know what, it's more than that because I'm 41, so it's probably more like 50 to 60 years ago, but they're still relatively new compared to the rest of the area. I might be right on the time wise because they don't look that old, but you'll see in a sec. So just remember this style of housing for the minute, and literally 200 yards away max is this. There we go. You wouldn't know you were in the same location at all, would you? So much newer property. I'm guessing a lot of it was housing association at one point. Never been in any of these. I would suspect a lot of it is still rented, although the odd one or two looks as though it might be owned. But yeah, totally different to just, yeah, literally 100 yards, 200 yards away. Mad. This is quite a good shot because you can see like these ones here, the newer, and literally straight through there, look, there's our older ones that we were just looking at literally a couple of minutes ago. So there we go, the old, the new, the possible conversion of a church, bit of a coach house tour around Belgrave Hall, a really mixed video, and I've literally not got in the car once. It's all right around the corner from each other. Crazy how cities and towns develop. Hope you've enjoyed it. The research continues on what we can do with empty houses and empty property, but converting big buildings like that church into residential property has got to be a great start. I'll catch up soon.